What you doing?
Making it live.
Oh.
Hey y'all, so we are doing an impromptu live because we're not at home, if you can tell by the background behind us. And we need to get this Married at First Sight video done. So today we are reviewing Married at First Sight season 13, episode 2, and it is titled Houston, We Have a Marriage. If you guys haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And I guess we can just go ahead and get into this review. So we saw 2 couples get married this episode. Yeah. Michaela and Zach and Gil and Mirla. So we'll start off with Michaela and Zach. I had to go back and watch the beginning of theirs because I had missed it. But Zach was overcome with emotion. A lot of emotion.
He cried a lot.
He did. He cried with his brothers. He cried with his mom. He cried by himself. I don't have any issues with him crying. It was just like, get it out. And he got it out before the wedding. So I was like, okay, he got it out. Let's just get it out, get it out, get it out. And so when they were walking down the aisle, when Michaela was walking down the aisle with her brother-in-law, she definitely got like really, really excited when she saw Zach, because she was like, oh, he cute.
Right.
And she started off by asking him, does he want a Zachary Jr.? I was like, we jumped straight to babies.
Right. Getting right into it. She called him gorgeous.
She did.
I have never heard a man being called gorgeous.
I have.
You have?
But not on Married at First Sight. But you know, it is what it is. I also know that Zach's daddy cried too.
He did.
I was like, all right then, Zach's daddy, you got it. Let's see. So Michaela called herself a cougar when she found out that Zach was younger than her, and he's 3 years younger than her.
He's 30 years. Yeah, she's 30 and he's 27.
Right. So in the, what was the thing called? Their family's little spiel about them.
Oh, the
And before the vows, Zach's family described him as a Renaissance man. And so she asked, what makes you a Renaissance man? He said, my dad taught us to make lotion and crochet. And she was like, okay.
She's like, I don't know if that qualifies as Renaissance man, but hey.
Right.
It is what it is.
Turn that off. It might be loud in the background. So they came back in after this sit-down meeting with each other, and they take the photos with the family. And it seems like both sides of the family were enamored with each other. Pretty much like, oh my God, we are gonna be combined a great family. Like, I like his mom, I like his dad, I like his brothers, things like that. And then I mentioned that they kiss a lot during the photo shoot.
She did say something that stood out to me. When they were actually getting married, she was like, she asked him if he was nervous, and he was like, yeah. And she was like, I got you.
She did.
I thought that was a very sweet moment and a very defining moment, because her thing was she's saying that she got him right when they met each other.
Right.
You know, so I thought that was pretty cool or whatnot.
So next couple that I wrote about was Bao and Johnny. So we started back up with them at their reception, and they had the traditional tea ceremony. And the tea ceremony is where they receive the elders' blessings on their relationship. So both of them had set up for a tea ceremony.
Yeah.
I think Johnny said he wanted it to be wine and gold, and Bao said red and gold. So it looked like they were literally planning the exact same like attire and everything, and they actually matched, because his wasn't as wine as I thought wine would have been. It was more like a red. So Bao did say that he looked handsome, and he looked great in his suit. So that was pretty much all I wrote about them.
Yeah, that They want 2 kids.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated them actually doing that ceremony, just because it allowed us to get more into their culture and ask more questions about their culture, and they stayed true to their culture things. So,
and Kimberly, I agree with you. It seems that the first 2 couples do have the best chance of being together. Yeah. I think that the instant attraction between Michaela and Zach is, I don't want to say enough, but it is enough to make it feel like they're going to at least give it a fair shot. And Johnny and Bao, like the fact that they actually have things in common with each other, like they actually did know each other and got along. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, I don't want to be around him. Like they actually were trying to get to know each other on a different level outside of just their 15 years ago.
Well, with them, it was like, I always compare them to me and you, as far as like we knowing each other in college, but then never dating one another.
Right.
You know, but then here they are, however many years later, like married to each other, you know, and so they have a lot of skipping to do because they know each other existed. That helps on so many other levels.
It definitely helps you like get over the getting to know each other part isn't as strange because we've already cleared the basics of it. Hey, you're Johnny. I'm Bao. Like, I went to college here. This is what I did in college. So they already skipped that and knew the preliminary things about each other.
Right.
So, moving on to the second couple that got married, it was Gil and Mirla. Is that how you say her name?
I think
Mirla. Gil said he wanted a traditional suit with a little splash in it. I was like, all right, okay, I can get with it. Mirla walked in with a list of everything that she did not want in a wedding dress. And I was like, as someone who never thought about their actual wedding until we were about to get married, I at least walked in with things that I wanted in a dress, not things that I didn't want in a dress. Like I had a list of things I didn't want, but I definitely had more, I would like this. And so it wasn't a big thing of the consultant trying to help me figure out what I wanted. It was more so a thing of let's find something along the lines of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And she ended up choosing a dress that was a lot sexier than I would have thought someone would have done on Married at First Sight, because like she had the girls up and out. Let's see. I wrote that Gil picked out a navy tux with a champagne bow tie, and Mirla talked a lot about building traditions with her husband. One of the things that I did notice, though, was that he mentioned being very budget conscious, and she has definitely talked a lot about the splurges that she makes in life. And then also, she said that she wouldn't be a match for someone that wouldn't be okay with her being sexy or dressing sexier.
Yeah.
I don't think that Gil made mention of that being an issue at all. Like, I don't know if he would, but from Gil and Mirla, I feel like this is just doomed to fail.
Yeah, I don't really see them like meshing well from the idea of her being materialistic. And I don't want to say that she's materialistic in a negative way, because I get her when she says I like certain things and that's what I'm gonna do, because
but we wouldn't look at a person that was a millionaire as being materialistic. Like if they were like, I buy red bottoms, we'd be like, she can afford to buy red bottoms. I don't know what Mirla makes. I know what a fireman can make because my dad was a fireman for 30-ish years. But knowing that, and like I think with Gil, one of the things about being budget conscious is we have to look at how much money a person has.
Yeah.
Because again, a millionaire could be budget conscious and we look at them as spending frivolously.
Yeah.
But they have the money to spend. Again, neither of these people is millionaires. But, or shouldn't, or I don't think they are. But based on their professions. But the thing with the money situation is it seems like he stresses it heavily and she stresses the other side heavily.
And that's why I think that, you know, they're going to run into issues because of how they look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So one thing that stood out with Mirla to me was that she said she did not want to date. And I said that I was worried about her vision of marriage. And it just seems like she wanted to have the things of marriage.
Yeah.
Like, I want someone to come home to so that I can tell people, oh, I have a husband. And I want kids because that's what I should do next. I thought that was a little bit awkward the way that she worded those things. And I just bothered me a little bit.
I didn't even pay that any mind.
You see it now, though?
Yeah.
Looking back on it.
Yeah, I do.
We did learn that Gil's family could not make it to the wedding because they're in Colombia. So, and Mirla says she has never been to Colombia, but she did seem to get a few, I don't want to call them cool points, but that's exactly what it is. When she found out that he spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
And his mother too only spoke Spanish.
Right.
So he was able to communicate with her mom.
Yeah.
And she would be able to communicate with his mom whenever they did meet each other. When we go back to, I don't know how I have this in this order, but we did flash to Mirla complaining about her makeup before they actually got married to each other. Oh, I'd put that one thing out of order. But she started complaining about her makeup, saying that she doesn't wear foundation. And I get it, like, people don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup like that. But like, she was starting out like, basically before the lady could do anything to her face, she was complaining.
Yeah.
And
don't do this, don't do that. I really didn't understand like what she didn't want her to do. I was like, but you have makeup on, don't you?
She said she doesn't wear makeup, and something about that is not believable to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like you had makeup on.
I mean, I know she had lash extensions, and so she was like, that's in lieu of like mascara or whatever. But I don't know. It's just something about that just bothered me.
Yeah.
Let's see what else did I write. I said that she isn't managing her expectations about Gil well, even though she doesn't know that his name is Gil at this point. She's not managing the expectations of the marriage because she's looking at things from the negative standpoint. I mean, from the standpoint of, you know, he has to do this, he has to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
she's not open enough.
Yeah.
She's like very closed off to her idea of what marriage and her husband should be. When in reality, it's like you're just rolling the die right now just to see what you actually gonna get. Yeah, hoping for the best. I don't know, man. Like the bald head thing is what stood out the most to me because for me, that's the most.
That's the craziest thing
that's
to
the
like
craziest
say.
Thing. He can't be bald headed. Like this man has a bald head.
That's a good word. Rigid.
Yeah.
Rigid. That is a good word. Like she's not compromising or flexible at all about any of this. And I mean, there's non-negotiables that you have, but I just think the bald head is a weird thing.
Yeah, it's like man, hair don't grow.
You can't make it.
You can't make it grow.
So she said that there will be no kisses on the lips at the wedding, and there was not. And her friend basically said, "Are y'all screwing?" On the first night, and she said, no, I'm sorry. His friend asked him that.
Right.
And he said he doesn't want it to feel like a one night stand, but you know, the second night.
Right. 24 hours, man. It's all he needed to make it special.
Gil wanted a 90s R&B love, and she's not it. She's not it.
She's definitely not it.
No.
That's more of a like 2017 love. Maybe 18.
I don't know. I don't know where you're going with that. Let's see. So as she's walking down the aisle, she sees that he's bald. They flash back to her in a confessional, and she's like, he's bald. But I'm open to it. And I think that she's open to it because she's like, he's a handsome guy. Like, I don't think anybody can deny that Gil is a handsome guy. So the bald thing is just like, girl,
it's the silliest thing.
Yeah, let it go. He's a nice looking guy. I hope this isn't a waste of Gil's time. Me too. Right. He seems like a really nice person. I mean, granted, we've only seen but so much of him, but a little bit of him that we've seen, he seems like a nice person. And I would hate for this nice person to become jaded about love because of this girl that he married. Yeah. In an experiment.
Yeah, I think Mirla's idea of everything is gonna spoil the whole genuineness of Gil's, attempt at this married at first sight, attempt at this experience.
No, absolutely.
Because I think both of them are going to try, but I think what's gonna happen is her willingness to spend and his willingness to not spend. Basically, that's gonna be what collides.
You think the money is gonna be it?
Yeah, and then the compromise. It's not the fact of having it. I don't think they're gonna run into that issue. It's just the compromise for the money, or for what happens with the money, because she doesn't want to change her single lifestyle, and he's a more conservative. I'm just, this is what I'm going to do type of lifestyle, and so they have to figure out that part. And I don't think she's gonna budge much on hers.
Right.
So.
So during the ceremony, we found out that Gil had a dog named Hype. I'm not sure if we knew that beforehand because, again, we don't watch any of the preliminary stuff for Married at First Sight. Sorry, but not sorry. When he went in for the kiss at the wedding, she extended her cheek. So there was just a kiss on the cheek. I noted about the mothers only speaking Spanish. And then they talked about having kids and what they do for a living. So we knew that he was a firefighter. We found out that she is a leadership coach and she coaches principal. She is a former principal, and nothing about her said principal to me.
Yeah. Or education. Like educator.
Yeah.
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 Like I didn't get I was like, what?
So she mentioned that she wants 1 or 2 kids, depending on what they do to her body. And she wants to get a mommy makeover after the kids. And I'm like, is that always
Gil necessary? Was like, I'm cool with that.
I was just wondering if that's always fair. Necessary. Because some women like bounce back beautifully.
Yeah.
And, a nip and a tuck isn't what you need.
Right.
I do see that Hype is going to be a point of contingency for their relationship because she was already not fooling with the idea of a dog, and then found out that the dog sheds, and she was like, not me. But that's all I have for the two of them. Did you have anything else?
Nah, that's it.
The couple I know you wrote the least about is Brett and Ryan.
I'd still get Brett confused with Ryan.
Brett described herself as a hopeless romantic. Ryan talks about wanting kids and that he wants to be a very, very active dad. Let's see, what does this say? She also seemed offended when Gil made an assumption about her job. She did seem a little bit offended about the assumption, and I don't get why. Because you just explained I don't even want to say your job title, but leadership coach, I guess that is your job title. She just gave a job title, and that would be like, I don't know, you saying you work in tech support and then somebody's offended because you're like, all you do is talk to people on the phone and tell them to clear their cache and cookies. I don't know. Back to Brett and Ryan. Ryan said he wanted to be an a very active dad, like a T-ball coach. He wanted to be involved in everything. Pastor Cal described both of them as romantics, which I guess Ryan could be considered a romantic. He said he falls in love very easily, so I could see that. And then Ryan sent Brett's mom some flowers, and he got her some shoes and told her it was her last chance to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we ended with him at the altar, right?
Yeah.
And I noted that he was so nervous, like he just kept moving, like he couldn't be still at the end of the altar. And I was like, I get it, like it's a jittery situation to get married in general. Right. And then now you're gonna add this onto the fact that I don't know who's gonna come down the aisle. It might be some girl that I talked to 3 years ago, because apparently he has a very active dating life.
Yeah. He's an avid dater.
Right. What to say? When Johnny called Ryan a weary traveler last episode, I mean, he described himself as out there.
Yeah.
He looked really stressed. He did look very stressed.
I don't know if he's going to like her.
I don't know. I can't tell. I feel like we get enough of Brett's personality, but I don't get enough of Ryan to know his likes and dislikes. And not that I should know his likes and dislikes, obviously, but we don't get a big like hoopla about Ryan like we know things about Brett. I
think what he more so is like the way they ended this episode last was like she came down the aisle and he's like looking like, oh God,
right?
You know. And all I was thinking was, please don't let this be another Chris situation.
Nobody has time for that. Like,
we don't have time for
this
that.
Season is done if that's what we got to deal with.
But I think, like, based off of Brett, I'll be getting her name wrong.
What's to say? I get the feeling Ryan is not going to like Brett's looks.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. But I don't think she's an ugly girl.
I think that they have positioned us to believe that with editing.
Yeah.
Because I feel that same way, but there's nothing that I have that says
it's nothing
this.
To go off of.
Yeah, I think
Ryan.
it's just an editing thing.
Yeah. I like the fact that both of them are like, they're looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, man. I didn't have a lot to really say about them. I don't think they're going to. I don't know. I don't know really what to say about them, man. It's not really much to say.
Let's see. So last but not least, Rachel and Jose.
You wrote something for
I
me?
did. I said Rachel looked for her dress and she wants to be sure that she picks out something to show off her new body. The interesting thing about that is Jose don't know what her old body looked like.
Right.
He picked out a sparkly black tuxedo. I was like, I looked at that and I was like, thank God we knew each other, because you would not be wearing that to my wedding.
Yeah.
What does this say?
That's not in my style.
Also, Ryan's serial dating is a red flag. It has to do with him saying he likes model types.
That's what it was.
That's got to be what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, Brett is pretty, but I wouldn't put her as model type. I would think that that's more like a Mirla type.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Mirla and Ryan would have really gotten along either.
I don't either.
I feel like she would have just like tried to run over him. And the last thing I wrote was that Jose discussed with his friends, what if it's not love at first sight? And I'm like, is it ever love at first sight? Sometimes. It's married.
Yeah,
but maybe not love.
Sometimes we don't know.
Unrelated question: will you guys ever review Love After Lockup? I've never seen an episode of Love After Lockup. Can't say that we will. If we ever decide to watch an episode and it catches our attention, perhaps. But I feel TV'd out right now. I don't know how you feel about it.
What, Love?
No, I'm talking about TV in general. We're just trying to. We got a lot of moving parts going on in the background. Like right now, we are in my hometown celebrating my mom's birthday. We surprised her on her doorstep this morning with her granddaughter. So outside of that, we're just like doing a lot of things also at home. So this trip is got a lot going on in our lives on top of everything else. What does it say? Jose and his 256 questions, he was acting like he would never be the problem. He was, and I just want to know why 256 questions. And are you sure none of these are repeat questions? Because, bruh. I mean, I guess maybe some of them are the basics, like, what is your name? Where are you from? How long have you lived in Houston if you're not from here? How did your last relationship end? But I feel like those questions have to definitely come out organically, or it's just gonna feel like an interrogation.
Yeah.
And
so we didn't see their wedding at all, right?
We still have 2 more weddings. So we still have Rachel and Jose, and what's some other people?
Brett and Ryan.
Brett and Ryan. Yeah. I don't know why they are dragging out these weddings. Is this how it normally is? I can't remember. I feel like even though I know last season just ended, I feel like I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
From like the last 3 seasons.
Somebody said he looked like the top of the cake.
He does. Like they put the crystals in the tuxedo on the top of the cake and was like, I shall call him Jose. I can appreciate this season because they finally chose couples in their late 20s and 30s. Yeah, everybody is in their 30s except Zach.
Yeah.
I believe. I don't think any of the women were in their 20s. I think
all
the guys are 35 except Zach. And that's it. It's going to be September before we get past the honeymoons. I hadn't looked into all the details of this season. I take that back. Someone sent me a message saying it was only going to be 2 weddings on this week's episode. And I looked to be sure at this week and next week's. And I saw that it was 2 weddings next week as well. And I was like, who has time for this? Like, chop these edits up. At least give me all of the weddings and then give me all of the receptions next week. Like, that would have been okay with me. But it's just, I don't want them to drag out this season because we had enough of getting beat over the head with dumb stuff last season with Chris and Paige, and I'm okay with us not being beat over the head with anything. Like, I just want to actually enjoy this season and like smile genuinely when I see people. Like I smiled when I saw Michaela and Zach.
Oh, I did like, too. I'm walking down the aisle with them. So
oh, he was just.
I'm like into it. Yeah.
Oh goodness, I walked in the room because I missed the beginning of the episode, like the first 20 minutes, and I had to go back and rewatch it. So I jumped in like literally at the altar, and her asking him about having Zachary Jr. Or no, I think I got to the part when she was like, "Is it Zach or Zachary? You want a Zachary Jr.?" And I was like, "All right, girl."
He was like, "That's your decision."
She was like, "Oh, he threw it back on me." But I appreciate like Michaela's enthusiasm about it. Tommy does love this show. Like, Tommy is the reason that I watched this show. Jeffy and Shanice hooked him.
Right. On YouTube.
Yeah. And he was like, I gotta watch this. And he got into it. And then we watched maybe 2 or 3 previous seasons.
Yeah.
And then we jumped in at New Orleans with reviews, right?
Yeah. Like we watched the season before New Orleans. Well,
is that Taylor and Crazy Brandon?
Yeah, like I don't think so.
I watched that season.
I know you did.
I watched part of the season that Deanna and Greg were on.
Yeah.
Nate and Sheila, I went back and watched that season. Yeah. I feel like I'm just pointing out the black couples.
These are the couples that you like.
I feel like I'm just pointing out the black couples.
That's what got me hooked on was Shanice and Jeffy. And the idea that they're marrying strangers was so like out there for me. Mm-hmm. It's like,
oh, and I got so mad at Jeffy. Like, I was like so frustrated watching him because he kept saying, but you're, what did he was like, you're a stranger.
But you're a stranger.
And I'm like, but you're married. Like, don't do stuff like this.
Right.
Yeah, New Orleans was my first season that I watched in real time as well. Like, that's when we started reviewing. And that was just because I was like, we got this YouTube channel. We should put something on it.
Yeah.
Jeopardy still frustrates me on Couples Cam. You know what? We were packing during the episode, and we ended up watching Couples Cam. I've never watched an episode of Couples Cam either. But while we were watching, until last night's episode, while we were watching Couples Cam, I was like, Jeopardy keeps telling Shanice that he wants to have more kids. And Shanice is saying, I would like to spend time with you. And I'm like, so you think that you can just come in and have sex with her to make more babies, but not spend any time with her? And now, because she don't want to have more kids, you want a divorce? I might be oversimplifying this issue because I only saw this one episode, but I'm like, are you listening to what's going on in your household? Because, bruh, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
I was like, man, you like, usually the hangout is what gets the baby.
Exactly.
Man, you better start hanging out with that girl.
Like, hang out with her and you might be able to make a kid or two. Like, I don't know what her reservations are with having more kids. I do know that their daughter,
husband, that's what her reservation is.
Well, I mean, it could be more than that. Because, like me, for example, I did not enjoy pregnancy. That doesn't mean I don't want more kids. I just did not enjoy pregnancy, and I need a little bit more time in between the first pregnancy and the second pregnancy. What does this say? Don't watch Couples Cam, but watching Shanice and Jeopardy scream every week before commercials is exhausting. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Shanice also said she wanted to get a bigger place and insurance. He just gave her a blank stare. Like, I know that Shanice is a hairdresser. That's not a job that just comes with, you know, insurance, a stock plan, all this other stuff. Like, I get it. I don't know what Jeopardy does for a living, but I get it. He was a
teacher.
And then looking at the apartment, like when he came back in and said that he wanted to stay there for like a month or two until he could find a place, I'm like, the bedroom is off from the living room. This place can't be that big. Like, It's not even down a hallway. So I can get it. Like, saying you want to stay in a bigger place, have insurance, these things make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what his reservations are for wanting to spend time with her, but Jeopardy has just not portrayed himself in the best light in general throughout being on this show. And then like adding in Couples Cam has just not taken his stock up by any means.
Right. I think I didn't watch season 1, but I tried. Like, I started like the first episode.
That one. I'm sorry.
I watched one episode because I wanted to see the girl, what's her name? Jamie, like run off and be like start crying and stuff because, you know,
you're all for the antics, huh?
Right. So, but I think Chicago, that's the one with Nate and Sheila. Mm-hmm. I think that might be the earliest episodes or the earliest season that I watched because
that's like season 4, I think.
Yeah, that was the season before Jeopardy, got into it.
Jeopardy is not like Shanice out the gate, and he still doesn't. I can see that.
I can see that too.
I can definitely see
like
that.
I've been saying that, and Shanice just been like there.
She is like, I have a husband, and he's mine, and I'm gonna stick beside him. Jeopardy is only romantic towards her when he wants to talk about kids. I could see that. Yeah. Like, literally, easiest way. I mean, outside of having insurance, if that's her issue, and having a bigger place, spend time with me. Be romance me, and you might get another baby out of this. I mean, but I guess he didn't have to do that to get the first baby.
Nah.
Because they were the first but their season was like longer than
I don't
8
think
weeks, wasn't it?
They wasn't in a year before they had their baby.
Yeah, she was very pregnant on their 1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
and I don't remember how we got to the 1 year anniversary on the show.
They went back.
Oh, okay. I don't really remember any of that.
And did another episode.
The only couple still together from the first 4 seasons is Jamie and Doug. Yeah. And Jamie is like, she's riding this Married at First thing. Yeah, she's like, I'm the queen of Married at First Sight.
She should
not take my throne. I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, more power to her. Like, it makes sense. Like,
right.
You stay married. You're getting I hate to call them spinoffs, but that's what they are. Like, you're getting Unfiltered, or you have Unfiltered, you have Couples Cam, and then she's doing all of this work around the space of like mom body shaming and things like that. So, like, I mean, I'm here for it. Like, I definitely think that she has made this. She's been what you should do if you get a shot on reality TV.
Right.
And I mean, just for her to also have a husband and kids out of it is great. But she has definitely spent this into more things that she can do outside of just, I got a husband, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shanice was pregnant at the reunion for their season. That's what it was, because they went to dinner for their anniversary. Or maybe it wasn't for their anniversary, but they went to dinner for something, and she was very visibly pregnant and showing. There was a special with Shanice, Ashley, and the Dallas couple because they were pregnant at the same time. That's what it was that I saw then. It was something. I knew I saw something, and it was more than just her that was pregnant, but I definitely remember her being pregnant, and they had not been married a super long time at that point. But I feel like Shanice really is just like, I want to be married. I want to have a family. And she's like, Jeopardy is doing enough for us to stay together.
Not no more, I don't guess.
Jeopardy should have been put his wife and child on his health insurance. He likes control, and Shanice is emotional and wants her marriage to work so badly. She puts over wherever he dishes out. You know what? There's a lady that I follow who always says interested men act interested. And to that, I'll say about the insurance part. I was listed on Tommy's insurance before I was his wife. Like, we were a domestic partnership because we lived together and we were sharing bills. Like, we were engaged, but we were not married. And you're absolutely right. If you want to put someone on your health insurance, you can make a way to do that, especially your wife. So I don't get why you wouldn't have your wife on your insurance. It doesn't increase that much, especially if you put your wife and your child on there, because the family rate is not a huge jump from employee and child versus, and I hope the child is on his insurance, from employee to child, or employee plus spouse plus child, whatever the terms of it is. Married at First Sight, Happily Ever After is the name of the spinoff. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it. Miles put Karen on his insurance day 2. I mean, it just makes sense. Who was the one they didn't work out, I don't think, but she was a diabetic and her husband put her on his insurance? It was in the first 8 weeks.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, she not. I'm his insurance girl. Bye. I don't understand why she's not on the insurance just as his wife. It just doesn't make sense. Katie, yeah. Katie was a diabetic, and like they didn't even stay together.
Who was Katie with? Oh, okay.
You remember now?
Yeah.
I was like, she was a diabetic, and that was the reason for the insurance. And he's like, she's gonna die without her medication. And so he went ahead and put her on the insurance. And I'm like, it makes sense.
I don't know if I would have did that though. I wouldn't have thought about it.
No, I'm talking about Shanice and Jeopardy.
Oh.
Like, it just makes sense.
I personally would have never thought to do that. That's crazy.
What's it say? I don't think he is a teacher anymore. I think he may be somewhere that doesn't have access to insurance. Perhaps. I don't know. I mean, you can have insurance for being self-employed, and I know Shanice is self-employed, but that's just something that has to be figured out.
How do you get on insurance?
they said that the reason that Shanice doesn't want more kids is because they need insurance.
I'm sitting over here like, why are we talking so much about insurance? I got you. I follow.
Yeah, I just went over here.
Yeah, like it was cool that people we put on insurance, but then it's like, wait,
why are we here?
How do we get there?
You got anything else for this here season 13 episode 2?
No, I don't. I think I do want to say that Zach and Michaela are my go-to couple. Okay. I have no clue if they're gonna stick together or not, but I like that couple.
You like them individually?
I like them individually. I like Gil.
Sorry, I thought I heard the pitter patter of a child's feet.
I just don't know how him and Mirla is gonna be. And Bao and Johnny. I like them. I don't know if I think Bao and Johnny is gonna stick together.
Question. Bao and Johnny, I think, can stick together. I'm interested to see her interactions with his dad. I know it won't be in face to face in the beginning, but she mentioned, or it was mentioned on Unfiltered, I believe, that she would do whatever she needed to do to help him mend that relationship and, let his dad know she's not crazy. It's not, what was the word he used? Dangerous for them to be together. If I had to say, just based off of who we have now, it would be Michaela and Zach and Johnny and Bao.
Yeah, that's all who got married.
Well, no, I'm just saying from seeing the couples, period. Like individually, it would be just the two couples. Yeah. Those two couples.
I'm really rooting for Zach and Michaela, and I like Bao and Johnny. I like Bao. I like her, her silliness.
Yeah, she has a sense of humor. Like, she's a person that doesn't come off when you see her as a person who would be very silly.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like he would be the one who has the, like, more of a sense of humor in their relationship, but it seems like it really is her. We need Zach and Michaela to work. We do.
Exactly. We do.
We need somebody to work. Like,
we do.
We're 1 out of 5 last season, but I think we knew that going into the season, or we could see that going into the season that only 1 of the 5 was going to work. We were just hopeful for more, but hopefully this season gets us 2.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Oh, I was about to say, who is the 3? I don't think Mirla and Gil are going to work.
You don't? I don't know if Brett and Ryan or Jose and
Rachel.
They
say that Rachel, like the experts say that Rachel is very flexible.
I feel like when they say, hey, we're trying to make sure that this person balances that person, that's always a setup.
Yeah.
Like we're banking that her, flexibleness will overtake his. That's probably not
flexibility.
Right.
I'm starting to think the goal is 1 out of each season so that they can add couples to couples cam consistently. Yeah,
that's possible.
It's like they added Virginia and Eric, and as soon as they added them, they were gone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're adding new couples to couples cam. By the way, we're getting divorced in 2 weeks. Like, it's just like, what?
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's what I got.
Any other thoughts?
No, that's all my thoughts.
Well, guys, we are going to go ahead and end this live stream. We were trying not to hold this video too much longer, and we couldn't pack our regular equipment, so it just became a live stream. Probably going to end up doing the same thing for Put a Ring on It.
Probably.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do a live for Put a Ring on It.
And then we'll go back to normal next week. And they lost Amelia and Bennett. Wait.
What happened to
Amelia and Bennett broke up? Because they weren't on Couple Scan, were they?
Nah.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Once the season is over, like these people disappear from my radar, unless like I'm specifically sent something. Oh, that makes me sad. I thought they would have worked out with their quirkiness.
Yeah.
Like they seemed like they were, gonna work it out.
Yeah.
That makes me really sad.
Exactly. All right.
You have no sadness in your body. All right, guys. Well, we will see you all sometime after Put a Ring on It comes on Friday. I don't know if we're going to actually do the video Friday night. Probably not. But we'll do it before Monday.
Yeah. We'll do it live before Monday to go ahead and get the Put a Ring on It. Is that the name of the show? Put a ring on it. I was thinking put a ring in it. I don't know.
Put a ring in it.
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
You need a nap.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do it live for Put a Ring on It, and then we'll get back to releasing the videos and stuff like that. If you haven't, please go subscribe to our channel, and hit the like button and all those good things. And yeah.
Yep.
That's all I got. I'm out. Peace.
All right, y'all. Bye. You're getting up before I end.